Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is brought to you by our friends at Fangoria Magazine. That's right, the first name in Fright since 1979 is now an affiliate of America's Hometown Horror. And because of that, we can now offer you an exclusive 20% discount on any first-time magazine subscription or merchandise purchase by heading over to shop.fangoria.com and using the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout. That's shop.fangoria.com/HometownHorrorPod, or just use the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout for that exclusive discount on anything from Fangoria. Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is also brought to you by our friends at Horror Facts Magazine. Never heard of Horror Facts Magazine? Well, if you're a horror fan, they're a name that you absolutely should know. You can find them over at horrorfacts.com, and they're a great resource for all things horror, including news, reviews, editorials, and lots of other horror podcasts, not only limited to, but including America's Hometown Horror. So head on over to horrorfacts.com and check them out. Now, let's get on with the show. All right, hello, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of America's Hometown Horror. We certainly appreciate you checking back in with us, especially as we approach halfway to Halloween season. More on that in a second. My name is Mike. I will be hosting you through this journey into a great film tonight. But first and foremost, here's where you can find our show online if you're interested in such things. First place, our website, which is ahpod.com. Head there for our blog. A little bit more about the show and us, and I think you can even listen to the show right through the website. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and Instagram. Just search for America's Hometown Horror, and you will find us. You can also email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com if you want some give us some feedback about the show. You can also call us at 508-927-1267 and leave us a voicemail. That's 508-927-1267. Hey, leave us some voicemails. We'd like to talk to you. And obviously, the best thing you can do for our show is to like, subscribe, and leave us a review, preferably a 5-star review. It helps the show get out to more people. We would certainly appreciate that. Thanks, as always, to our friend Shaun O'Laughlin from Skywheel Media, who's now doing all of our audio and music production and doing a bang-up job, if I do say so. And if you have a podcast that you're looking to take to the next level in terms of audio production, get in touch with us, and we can put you in touch with Shaun and Skywheel Media. Final reminder, I think this is the last episode that's going to be coming out prior to our Halfway to Halloween trivia at Mayflower Brewing Company on Thursday, May 2nd, hosted by yours truly, along with my fellow co-hosts who are here in studio with me tonight, Matthew and Andrew. Hi, guys.
What's up, dude?
Oh, hello.
Hello. How are we?
What's going on?
Fantastic.
Not too much, not too bad. Doing good, feeling good. I don't know about looking good, but all the other good things. So are you. Everybody looking good.
We were talking about that last night.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. So, by the by, are we excited for Halfway to Halloween trivia, which has crept up on us really fucking quick?
It could be a blast.
We have some really interesting ideas for some categories and some fun things we can do. But obviously the big thing, and if you've been following Haunts and Hops, on Instagram and Facebook, you can see that we have been doing Trivia Tuesdays, where we have been doing very deep cut trivia, teasing this year's marquee guest. And it's going to be a huge announcement that we are going to reveal at our Halfway to Halloween trivia on May 2nd. So it's going to be a fun night. Going to be really cool to celebrate Halfway to Halloween, get ready for spooky season, do some cool horror movie trivia, give away some cool stuff, and make some huge announcements about this year's event. So I'm pretty excited. Are we excited, guys?
I think it's going to be a blast. I think it's going to be a very unique horror trivia night. Like,
I think so too.
One of the best ever.
Some would say the best. Some would say the best. Fantastic.
Best.
Fantastic.
It's going to kick.
Yeah, it certainly is. And
It's gonna be so much fun.
If the Facebook invite is any indication, it seems like there's quite a few people that are at least interested in or potentially planning on attending. So
I have a confession. I actually made all those profiles.
Oh, did you? Okay, fair enough.
Myself, so,
Yeah.
so they've all it's just me.
I hope the event's banged the fuck out and we have a full crowd there celebrating Halfway to Halloween. That'd be great for Mayflower. That'd be great for us. So yeah. If you're coming, you listen to the show, come on up, say hello. We don't bite very much. Andrew does sometimes, but say hi. We'd love to meet you and talk to you. So we hope to see you on again at Mayflower Brewing Company on Thursday, May 2nd. All right, guys, want to jump into some news? news / watch list stuff real quick before we get into tonight's movie?
Sure.
I say news / watch list because the first piece of news that I have, and this was obviously, a couple days ago at this point, but hey, still a piece of newsworthy news because you can still do the thing that I'm about to talk about, and that is rent the Sydney Sweeney starring vehicle Immaculate at home.
Did it.
Which Matthew did.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt, I know Andrew and I have not seen this film yet. Where did you rent it? How much did you pay for it? And what did you think of Immaculate?
I rented it on Vudu. It was $9.99.
Voodoo.
And, it was great.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah. It was it's quick. It's like an hour and a half. Cool story. Definitely can see why people are calling it the most blasphemous anti-religious movie of all time.
Yeah.
No, it was cool. I like.
If they said that about 8,000 movies. By
I thought that it was a cool marketing for Neon to use all of the negative comments about how horrible it was towards religion as their like promotion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was good. Definitely worth a watch. I liked it.
Good. Okay.
It's violent.
Did you rate it on Letterboxd?
Not yet. I forgot.
What would you give it, like, out of 5?
Probably, it's, I guess like a close to a 4, 3.5.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
All right. So it's good.
So it was almost Immaculate.
Oh,
That was the titular star in it.
She's good.
Yeah. Excellent. All right.
See, I feel like religion is like the last vehicle of movies, like type of movies that you can just like. Well, it's the last vehicle that you can. I don't know. I keep saying vehicle. It's the last. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Maybe taboo topic.
Not even taboo. Like you can make fun of it ruthlessly and nobody cares. Like there's no like. Well, people. No, the people that care, nobody cares about though. That's the thing. Like you can offend these people, and it's like too bad. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah,
you're not going to get canceled for it. You offend other types of people.
I know what you're saying. Like, I don't think anyone's going to see Immaculate and if they're a hardcore Christian, renounce their religion.
Well,
No,
people
go,
were definitely mad about it. There was a lot of reviews that people were like, "This is like, what the fuck?" Like, I don't know. I won't get into it, but
bad, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I like it.
Okay, I definitely want to check that one out too. I just haven't had a chance.
And it's nice because it's like it really is. It's quick.
Hour and 30 minutes.
I love that.
Perfect length for actually any movie.
Just like our movie that we're talking about tonight in a little bit, which, love it. Dude.
Any longer, and I might have thrown up.
Yeah, no,
seriously. That was interesting. You said that Neon, right? Is it Neon that did Immaculate? They're using kind of the negative reviews to it as marketing ploys, which I think is a very good idea because A24 is also doing that right now with Civil War. Yeah. Because obviously with the content of the film being about an American Civil War, it appears that people on both the left and the right are mad about this movie. And
shocking.
A24 is using that to their advantage. And they posted like on Instagram the other day, like a screen cap. Like if you were to Google Civil War, there's like an article from Fox News that's angry, an article from like MSNBC that's angry, like other film outlets.
That the movie's doing its job.
Right.
If it's upsetting both sides of the spectrum, then that's exactly what you want.
Love it. I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to see that one too, because that movie's doing really well. I think that.
What is that out of theaters though? Because I was looking it up and I don't think it's playing this weekend.
If that's the case, that would be very surprising to me because I think I did hear that it was the biggest opening movie for A24, surpassing Speak No Evil. Speak No Evil was the biggest opening I think before that, or Hereditary, one of the two.
You're thinking of
Ex Machina.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. What did I say?
Speak No Evil.
Oh, Speak No Evil. Yeah, Talk to Me was the one I was thinking of. Yes, I misspoke. Speaking of Speak No Evil, that was a nice little Freudian slip tease for our next news topic here. This has been apartments.com. There's going to be so many Jeff Goldblum impressions tonight. It's going to be obnoxious. So
who's going to have the worst one? Probably this guy.
Probably Andrew. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we all do. Guys, it's been a hot topic in the horror community about the Blumhouse Speak No Evil remake, in which they released a trailer over the last week, starring James McAvoy, Scoot McNairy, and a couple other people. Scoot McNairy.
Scoot McDoo.
Scoot McDoo. Scoot McNairy is the other dad.
He was in True Detective.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Season 3.
Let's see. So, James McAvoy, Mackenzie Davis, and Scoot McNairy.
Is he the dad?
He's the dad in season 3 of True Detective. He's also in Argo. He was in that.
I've never seen Argo.
A movie called Monsters about the journalists that are like trying to get from Mexico into America, where it's like an alien invasion. There's all kinds of
Oh,
monsters. That's a
I
really
think I
good
might have
movie.
seen that
Yeah,
movie,
it's actually
actually.
really good. So he's a Matt. So yeah, guys, obviously we talked a lot about Speak No Evil on our best movies of 2022 episode. I think it was very high up for all of us, and also for Kat. Certainly packed a huge wallop, and one of the most devastating endings of a horror movie in recent memory.
Yeah, that's a really fucking
Really
hard ending.
hardcore. Obviously, a foreign film, and Blumhouse decided they want to make an American remake of this film,
Yeah.
or at least an English language version of this film, right?
No, I'd call it an American remake.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
Based off what the trailer looks like.
So we've all seen the trailer, right? Obviously, if you haven't seen Speak No Evil, I'd say tune out for the next couple of minutes here and go watch the original and reserve judgment for yourself about this. But obviously, people are pretty big time mad that the trailer for this new American remake of Speak No Evil pretty much gives away
Dude, what is
the
that trailer?
majority of
3
the plot.
fucking minutes long.
Multiple plot points.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like going into seeing the original one, I think you had seen it first, Matt, so I knew that there was going to be something really, really bad that happened towards the end.
Yeah.
But it really does not feel like a horror movie until like the last 15 or 20 minutes.
It's just like uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's really just strange.
And you're like, it's like aggravating. You're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Off-putting, maybe. And then like this one is just in your face with James McAvoy being a fucking
He looks
lunatic.
fantastic.
Yeah, he does look like
the
he's gonna
movie
probably
itself,
do a
I
good
will
job.
say, doesn't look bad.
No.
But what are we doing? This is why I don't want to watch trailers anymore. What are you doing?
I'm
Stop
also
giving
seeing-
everything away.
I'm seeing a lot of fighting between the two families, and that's
Little
not
too much.
how that
Yeah.
goes.
No.
So
No.
Well, it's obviously going to be different because it's got to be Americanized. It's got
that's what I'm saying.
it's
They're
got
gonna
to keep people with
bingy the
zero
ending
brain
up.
cells entertained for a little bit longer
Yeah.
because, let's be honest,
They're gonna soften the ending. They're gonna nerf the fuck out of it.
it's not a Marvel movie, so they got to make it
Dude, there's
entertaining.
no shot. Are they killing?
You think so?
I don't know. I just think
I
that-
hope they do.
It
For
was
their
a-
sake,
No,
pull it
they
together,
don't.
bumhouse.
They're pussies.
I think the most unsettling thing about the original Speak No Evil, or like the pit in your stomach just started to form, was when you find out that the host family dad is not a doctor, right? He just
Yeah.
like, yep. Okay.
You're like, okay,
what are you
well,
talking
what the
about?
fuck do you mean?
You said you were a doctor. Oh no, I'm not a doctor. They give that away in the trailer, and it's like,
Yeah, what are you doing? Why are you giving that away?
Why? I still want to see it because it does look good, and I think James McAvoy is a really good underrated
He's
actor.
fantastic. Like, say what you will about Split in those movies. He's awesome in those movies.
No,
Yeah.
he's good in Doctor Sleep too. No, that's not him. That's what am I thinking of?
Ewan
Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor.
Yeah. What the fuck else is he in that wasn't those other movies though? The Split and the
Not Split, not Glass.
what was
not,
he just in?
he's been in a bunch of X-Men movies, but
Yeah, it was Charles Xavier in the new X-Men movies.
he's in a bunch. It's like
Yeah, he was in
almost so
something-
much stuff.
He's in something crazy like recently.
Okay.
Well, I'll look it up while you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely. I kind of agree with what you're saying, Andrew. It looks interesting. I do want to see it.
But why a 3-minute trailer giving
Yeah.
away every plot point?
Yeah.
What
I
are we
mean,
doing? Have we gotten to that point in our society where you're not interested in going to a movie if you don't know everything that happened? Or if
Yeah.
you can't Google it beforehand, you're not going to watch the movie because you have 2 fucking brain cells? I can't with people anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking done.
I
If you don't, if it doesn't work for you, too bad. Fuck off. You don't get to watch this movie. Go watch your Marvel movies and your universe movies. Fucking can't.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. I must be thinking.
I love when you get angry, Andrew. It
No,
makes me
he
laugh.
James McAvoy rips, and
Yeah.
he does look like he's gonna give a strong performance in this. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
the trailer gives way too much shit away. And I'm like, dude, I have to assume that this is targeted towards people who've never fucking heard of the original movie.
I would
Right.
assume so.
So it's just like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, I mean,
Well, not too
are
long
we-
ago, I was that person. 15 years ago, this was Mark. I was the person that hadn't seen
Are we just
the
like looking at
foreign
it?
film that came out.
Are we looking at it this way as hardcore horror fans that have seen the movie and follow
Maybe.
the news? Maybe the average everyday person is like, "Wow, this movie looks really cool, and I can't wait to see it."
But wouldn't you even still think like it's giving a lot away?
It is.
So this reminds me of the movie The Vanishing, which came out in 1988. This is another movie that was from like Denmark or somewhere over there. And that ending's fucking brutal. And then they made an American one in the early 90s, and the ending, like, it's like a happy ending.
See, I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
The original one's
Either one.
fantastic.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean,
Excellent movie. It's on the Bravo 100 Scariest Movie Moments.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what number it's at. It's got to be. It's within the first like 2 episodes.
Okay. The Vanishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but like that was the same idea where they took this foreign movie and then they Americanized it and they just like fucking marshmallowed it and then that was it. And it's like, dude, why?
Well,
Yeah.
These American theaters, they want to sell popcorn. They want to sell merch.
Then just fucking show the goddamn movie
Yeah.
that originally came out in theaters, dude.
Dude, it happened when I saw it, and we're still waiting for this fucking movie to show up, and I can't wait for you guys to watch it. But it's the same thing with Godzilla -1.
Oh,
I went and saw that.
What
in
is
theaters.
up with that?
I went and saw that. I'm telling you, what's to blame is the terrible Godzilla movie that's come out. And everyone, oh, it's good, and it's fucking probably terrible.
Yeah.
I heard it's just popcorn fun,
Yeah, sure.
but which is
Cock
fine. Yeah,
Cock
here we go.
porn.
Yeah, you go jerk off and watch your CGI all you want. Like
Smooth
not
little
that Godzilla
shrimp
-1 didn't have CGI, but I was sitting there watching this movie, and I knew what I was walking into. I knew it was a Godzilla movie, but I also knew that it had a lot deeper meanings and stuff like that because they had read maybe 1 or 2 articles. Didn't give away that. I didn't watch the trailers. Didn't really give away the plot. But then I watched some fucking idiot woman walk in with her like 8-year-old kids. I'm like, this isn't a movie. She left like 15 minutes in because I'm like, yeah, you're in the wrong fucking theater, you stupid idiots. And they're just gearing everything towards just the people. I hate America for that reason. Just that we're so blind and stupid to certain stuff. And it's like, can you have some
everything's so
have some
down.
fucking self-awareness? Like,
Yeah.
don't be so fucking annoying and stupid. I can't. I'm telling you, I can't. I sound like this is my Larry David rant of the day.
It's all right. I love it. I love the Larry. Well, we're not going to get too many Larry David rants anymore now that Curb's over. So we have to get them for you, Andrew. All right, you give me the
Speaking of a banger,
the
what a
new
banger that
Larry
show was.
David.
Did you finish that? Yes.
I got to watch the last season. I haven't watched any of it yet.
It's funny.
All right, next topic, guys. Filming has wrapped on Damien Leone's Terrifier 3, which of course is going to be set on Christmas, but is going to be released this Halloween. I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah, that's gonna fucking kick ass.
Yep.
This is going to be a banger year.
Yeah,
It's starting off like a banger
There's
year.
been I think every movie I've seen so far that came out this year has been good.
And I'm waiting to just start watching them
At
when
least
they come out
decent.
free release because, there's movies I won't go to
A
theaters.
lot of people are really digging the first Omen, too.
Which is wild. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's even like if that to me is the precedent set that's a good movie because that should be like fucking Firestarter. That is everyone's like, oh, this movie's terrible. You don't want to watch it. Don't watch it.
No,
And then
yeah.
people like actually like, oh, this is a good movie. I'm like, oh, well, now
I
we're on
guess
to
it's
something
wicked fucking violent.
awesome.
And people
Cool.
are like, dude, like to see this in like a mainstream movie is crazy. So I'm like,
Maybe
okay,
they're finally
cool.
maybe the box office and these big giant production
Well, they're
movie
taking
companies
bigger
are
swings.
finally going, you know what?
Yeah.
What do the people want? And we're telling them what we want.
Well, look at Terrifier 2, and you have this big run.
Yeah.
And
Barbarian.
Yeah, exactly. You get all these.
They're finally like,
I've
yeah,
been saying
people
this
are
for
fucked in the
years.
fucking head.
Yeah, once you start getting these movies out there and realizing that they sell, like we're gonna get bigger. Dude,
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah. all we're doing is like I said before multiple times, ebbs and flows, dude. We're getting out of the whole like Conjuring and like exorcism paranormal thing, and
James
now we're
Wan
back
is
into
past.
like violent slasher, like crazy gore movies again.
Speaking of slashers, what's that movie called?
Oh,
That looks
wow.
awesome.
In a violent nature.
Yeah, that looks like I
really
don't even
cool.
like slashers, but that doesn't even feel like a slasher.
Yeah, that looks really.
that feels like
interesting.
watching Zodiac from his point of view.
Yeah. I feel like
This is
it's already shaping up for sure, and I feel like it already is going to be a better year this year than last year for horror.
I mean,
movies.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
Late Night with the Devil. I
I
think
can't wait
is-
to watch that again.
I can't
tomorrow.
even
I know.
it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yep. Well, as of this recording, it'll have been out for a
Wow.
few days, but yeah, for us tomorrow we can watch it again. All right, so Terrifier 3 coming this Halloween. Could not be more excited. You guys know that Chris Jericho's in Terrifier 3, the wrestler?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that until I was
I didn't even know he was still
till today.
alive.
Speaking of stupid ideas, next topic. Guys, we all really loved, speaking of 2022 horror movies, we all really loved Smile.
Yeah.
Very high ranking for each of us in
It hit our
2022.
top 10.
Yep. they've so apparently, or not apparently, we talked about this before. They're making a sequel because
That's
of
how
course
this year, right?
Yep, they made a whole lot of money, and apparently the sequel is going to be coming out this year. And the plot description has been released. Would you guys like to hear
Not
what's
really.
happening? No.
No, I'm just like I'm done with like knowing everything with these movies.
Yeah.
It's like kind of
I know what you mean.
Apparently, so CinemaCon in Las Vegas was this past week, and they showed some footage from the upcoming sequel. But do you really not want to hear it?
No,
I can skip it.
It's not a trailer, so it's fine.
Let's see. So the teaser footage for Smile 2 that played CinemaCon 2024 was focused on a new character played by Naomi Scott, a music celebrity whose glamorous world is about to get dragged to hell. After a few glimpses of her pop star performances, the footage showed Scott's character getting a shock when a man breaks into her dressing room and smiles creepily at her. So apparently the plot of Smile 2 is going to follow a pop star.
Okay.
It's fine.
Maybe an interesting angle. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't fuck
she's
it
got
up.
a
With
wide
these movies, the plot
audience.
is almost irrelevant. It's more the how they go about it.
Yeah. Matt just brought up a very good point. If she's on stage, there are going to be a lot of people looking at her on stage. Could be a lot of smiling people in that audience.
Yeah.
Could
Like
be
the baseball games.
The baseball games, yeah.
I hated that.
I did too.
I remember
It
yeah.
so
really
annoying.
made me
Yeah.
not want to see the movie.
Yeah, 'cause it's like, look at these idiots.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of viral marketing like that right now for the new Strangers movie that's coming out this year.
Oh, really?
I guess they just like people showed up as the three strangers like at Coachella last weekend. Like they're all over the fucking
How about they
world.
just start showing up at people's houses?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's
Like,
good.
I guess they showed up at like
get
That's
shot
how
in
you
the
get
face.
shot.
they were
Yeah.
just like walking around Coachella. They were walking around.
I'm never gonna see that. Get out of my face.
They were walking
Hurry up.
around. They were walking around South by Southwest. So like they're just out there doing viral marketing for
Of course,
this.
they went to Coachella with all the other douchebags.
Watch your tongue. Deftones were there, my friend. I was all excited about it.
Yeah, they're not, I'm saying the people that go.
No, I know. Dude, I couldn't imagine some of the people in the audience like, who the fuck are these people? It's just like the Deftones in a sea of pop music.
Well,
Fucking
there was
wild.
Knocked Loose was there last year.
What? Were they really?
Yeah.
Well, I definitely watched the live stream of Deftones performance as they went on right before Lana
Yeah, you
Del Rey.
sent me a bunch of snaps.
I
of
did.
it.
I was
Yeah.
all-
I'm gonna make
fucking
this
jazzed
Instagram
up.
video of Shine through.
I was like, Mike's just hammered on his couch watching this right now.
Oh yeah,
So,
by
Mike did
myself.
a new
I
power
was
washing
video and I'm like,
fucking.
Shine. Is this Deftones?
I was as happy as a fucking
No.
pig in shit. I was fucking so happy. They played like a short, like 12-song set. They played like
slapping your leg.
yeah,
just like,
they played like a couple of rarities that they haven't played in like 10 years. It was awesome. I was
That
like,
is pretty
fuck
sick.
yeah. They played
do
a
you
couple-
pop the top off?
No, I didn't pop the top off. I was hammering drinks though. They played Combat off Saturday Night Wrist the first time they played it in like 13 years. They played a cover of the Smiths, Please Let Me Get What I Want. That's a good song. So good stuff. Anyway, no more Deftones talk from me. Matt, be interested to hear your thoughts on this next topic here. I heard about this recently. So Edgar Wright is apparently going to be directing a remake of the movie that came out in the 80s starring Arnold Schwarzenegger based on the Stephen King novel The Running Man.
Yeah.
And it's going to star Glenn Powell, who was in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, the
and
weird little
he's-
chipmunk guy.
I don't.
he's
not
in
the
that movie
chipmunk
with.
guy.
He's in that movie with
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney. He looks like a chipmunk.
Yeah.
And I guess he's going to be the main guy in the Twister sequel that's coming out.
Yeah,
this
that's
year.
the chipmunk guy.
It is him. Okay, so I haven't seen. I still haven't
Apparently,
seen,
you don't know what a chipmunk looks like.
I still haven't seen Top
They're
Gun
fast. They're
Maverick.
very hard to get a good look.
Sorry to say.
Fast.
So I have
They're
never.
like cheese. Cheese. Monterey Jack.
I know the.
Cheese.
Oh my god. So I have never read The Running Man. I have never seen the original Running Man movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger because I thought it would probably just be really fucking stupid. So
It's-
Matt, I ask you guys because you've both probably seen the movie, and Matt, I don't know if you've read the book.
No.
Excited? Yay? Nay?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't really like
Edgar-
the movie.
Oh, like just because Stephen King's attached to it doesn't mean it's necessarily good.
does
It's
Edgar-
like Stephen King
And that was
says.
a Richard
Stephen
Bachman.
King will say
Oh, it was a
every.
Bachman
yeah.
book.
Stephen
Okay.
King will say every show he's ever watched is the best show ever. And I'm like,
So the concept I have to because I confuse the Running Man with the Long Walk
okay.
almost every time,
I think
and the
I
Long
think
Walk
Running Man
is
like
very
a
different.
it's like a futuristic
Yes.
dystopian
it's like a
game show type thing.
Yeah, where
yeah.
and it has that old guy that's in everything. What is his name? He's like the conductor.
The Long Walk is the one with like the road race where they're like killing people who stop running.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. That one I know.
Running Man's like an inside arena track, kind of like Tron, but not at all.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very weird. It's like they're on rollerblades. I feel like
the fact that
Arnold Schwarzenegger is just like
he's just wearing he's just wearing spandex. His tiny penis is showing and his huge muscles. He's like, "Can you clench my butthole, please?"
dicky.
I had too many steroids before. This is such a bad.
Smooth little shrimp.
You
dick.
son of a can't all be winners.
Son of a bitch.
It doesn't get you guys interested at all that Edgar Wright is directing.
No.
Obviously, Shaun of the Dead. Last Night in Soho.
Not really, because I just
Hot
really
Fuzz.
don't like
No.
that actor.
Okay.
I don't know
If it was like
yeah,
Simon Pegg,
Glenn Powell.
sure.
Yeah, he's like this week's like hot
He's kind of blowing up a little bit right now.
toddy.
What?
Like he's kind of like a fucking. He
Pause.
looks like someone that I would like not be interested in any movie.
It looks like someone I would bang.
No, like he's
Like somebody
supposed
Andrew
he's
would
supposed to be like
blow.
super attractive, and you look at him, and you go, "You're like
he's very.
kind of not."
He looks like
It's
he's
like, Julian Edelman, where you're like, "Oh, he's attractive."
What's
but he
happening
looks,
right
looks like a fucking chipmunk. Yeah, he looks
No,
like a chipmunk.
he's just like he looks like he was like someone like photoshopped him in real
Yeah.
life. He's very like he looks like I don't know.
The Julian Edelman comparison
look real.
is a good one because Julian Edelman is slightly handsome. If he wasn't insanely ripped and caught passes from Tom Brady, nobody would be fucking interested in him at all.
Because what is he?
He wouldn't be
5'9"?
banging supermodels. There's no way.
5'9"?
He's short. Dude, he's real short. Yeah.
Yeah, he would get. No one would talk to him.
Nothing wrong with
Andrew, how
short,
tall are
being
you?
short, but like
5'9". That's what I'm saying. I'm better looking, Julian Edelman. No one talks to me.
get ripped like Julian Edelman, and then
Just suck my own dick.
All right, so that's The Running Man from Edgar Wright and Glenn Powell.
I do like
apparently
Edgar Wright, so I don't want to hate too much.
I do like
mean,
Edgar
you never know. I guess we'll see. All right, last piece of news before we move on here, guys. Apparently, Blumhouse, more Blumhouse news,
Never get away from it.
is teaming with Lionsgate for a brand new Blair Witch Project movie.
Oh, did we talk about this last week?
We did not talk about it last week
No.
because it
I
came
read an
out.
article
I
about
think.
this.
Oh, you know what? I
recently.
must. Yeah, I think I saw an article about it, and I think I was drunk and I fucking went nuclear in the comments.
I was half in the bag when I read this up in New Hampshire over the past weekend, and I was like sitting there. My daughter and Kat were both taking a nap, and I was just like watching the Masters and fucking getting so mad by myself. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And it's not only the fact that they're doing a new one; it is they're calling it quote the first film in a multi-picture packed with Blumhouse reimagining horror classics from the Lionsgate library.
So
What
what
I
is
don't-
does that
I
mean?
don't know that more.
So what is
offensive
what
words
is
have
what are we
been
going to
uttered
get
in
from
one
the
sentence.
Lionsgate library?
I don't
What
know.
can we think? Because what is out in that time period? Lionsgate.
I mean, Lionsgate are the Saw movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
House
we're
of
not
a
getting any of
Thousand
those.
Corpses, The Devil's
House of
Rejects.
Corpses.
I don't know. I'd have
We're
to
not
really
getting
look
any
and
of
see.
those. They're not redoing
Well,
those.
dude, Lionsgate was kind of the Lionsgate was
Writer
the
Shaun.
horror.
Yeah, they had bangers.
Yeah, they had some
Yeah.
good stuff like before.
Yeah, so what are you
Blumhouse
remaking? Which
and-
ones are you remaking?
I don't know. But apparently Blair Witch is the first one. I did see, and I like this. Joshua Leonard, who plays Josh in the first movie, and I think he was one of the producers as well. He went on a fucking rant on social media, being like, "This is fucking bullshit." Like, I have some of the rights to this movie. I was never talked.
Yeah,
never
did you
told
get paid?
about
Did
it. Never
they
approached
pay
about
anybody
it.
for this?
Apparently, he said that for the last however many, so that came out in '99, which means this is 25 years since Blair Witch came out. So same year as The Mummy, right? Because we talked about that in the audition
Right.
episode last week. All 99,
We're
right?
gonna see that.
Right? We're still going to go see it. But he said basically that the studio has been trying to pay the 3 stars as little as possible in 25
Then
years.
give them
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Then
right.
give them nothing.
I don't know. So
Why should they do anything? Why would you give them anything? Why are they letting them remake this movie without them?
I will say, like, I think
Don't be
The-
such bitches.
the Blair Witch,
Fix it.
the Adam Wingard Blair Witch
Fix
sequel
this.
that came out a couple years ago was not bad.
I never saw.
I didn't like it.
Why do we need to make
Why am I watching that?
multiple more Blair Witch
The
movies?
movie, the reason that
It
movie
doesn't make
was the
sense.
reason that
Yeah.
movie was so good was because it was so original and no one knew
It
what the
was
fuck was
found
going on, and they
footage.
thought it was actually something that had happened.
Talk about
You lost the allure now.
viral marketing working.
Yeah.
Talk about lightning in a bottle. That's the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah,
and
now
I
they're just
like
trying to catch farts in a bottle.
seriously, that's what it's going to be. It's a
Instead.
big old fucking smelly ass.
They should make a
fart right in
found
the
footage
fucking-
movie. It was just killing Blumhouse executives. And be like, oh shit! They're like, oh, this is
They
real.
they
Fuck.
they will.
They'll probably
it'll
be
be meta. It'll be Scream 8.
Somewhere in the distance,
Yeah.
Jason Blum's ears just perked up, and he's like, "Wait, assistant, Call America's Hometown Horror right now.
I'll
Want to
give
make
that-
that movie right now?
I'll give
We're
you
gonna-
$12 for that idea.
We're gonna make them pay us $100,000.
I'm actually going to file a lawsuit against you for threatening me with my life, and then I'm going to make that movie
Yeah.
that I said.
Uh,
I don't
From
know if it
now
actually
on-
sounds like that, but maybe.
From now on, whenever we reference what year a movie came out, can it be this many years after or before
the Mummy. Sure can. Absolutely.
I mean, the Mummy is almost like AM or P, like.
Yeah, it's like
It's
before
like
Christ. and
AM,
after.
Christ,
AM, yeah, AM, PM.
And if you really think of it,
Post-Mummy,
1999
yeah.
kind of works because you have 2000 on and 1999.
BC and AD. Yep,
So Brendan
absolutely.
Fraser,
Okay.
or should it be before
BM,
BF?
BM, and
before Fraser and after Fraser?
I'm open
Can
to
we make
whatever
some shirts
suggestion you
too?
guys want.
I think we need to make some shirts for that
Okay.
and wear them to the trivia.
To the trivia, or at least to Haunts and Hops. It might be a little stretch to make them before trivia. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm gonna make you a shirt
All
that
right.
just says "I got worms."
That's a good one.
real
You're
quick.
gonna have Lloyd Christmas on it though.
I did not.
I got worms.
I did not write this down, and I have not seen this yet. Matt, I know you watched it. Andrew, I don't know if you did. Quick thoughts on the Long Legs trailer that you were telling
Oh, dude,
me about.
that movie looks fucking awesome.
I didn't know there was
Yeah.
a new trailer yet.
Oh, he
There's two.
texted us. He
What?
texted us.
I
yesterday.
didn't,
two
I didn't
new
watch it yet.
trailers.
So, what's the other Micah Monroe, The Stranger?
The Stranger. That's on
What the fuck is
Hulu.
it? That's out.
hmm
Oh, okay.
I was buzzing through Hulu just
Didn't
to
I
see what
watch?
they
Oh
had
no,
on
The
there yesterday.
Watcher. Was the other one The Watcher that she was
That
in?
came out. A
The
couple
Watcher.
weeks
That was
Okay,
like
so
shut.
how
Yeah.
many movies is she in? Like The Watcher, The Stranger,
A lot of the
The
Yeah.
Follows.
ago. The Follows.
All right. Looks
No,
cool.
yeah, dude, this movie looks like it's gonna be right up your alley.
All right.
Like it looks like a
Culty.
culty, cryptic, like
Sold.
procedural.
That makes
Sold,
me
yeah.
so excited.
So I should watch the trailer. I'm not
Yeah, no, definitely. It gives nothing
is it?
away.
When is this
Okay,
coming
fair
out?
enough.
Yeah.
soon, right?
September.
No, in July. July 12th.
Okay, July. Well, that I definitely want to watch. Okay.
Yeah, because there's also one coming. What movie's coming out on like 4th of July? What movie is that?
Maxine.
That's right.
Oh fuck! I can't wait for that
So
one. too.
many bangers.
I know.
Two,
This is
so
a
those
good
will
year.
be back-to-back weeks.
Wow, dude.
We're gonna have to make time.
I know.
I know.
A lot of time. A lot of
I'm gonna
time.
have to bring a
Not that we're
newborn to
gonna-
the movie theater.
Guys,
We're
real
gonna
quick.
watch this horrifying.
Last thing before we move on to tonight's movie: Micah Monroe or Sydney Sweeney?
Sydney Sweeney, and
Sydney
it's not
Sweeney.
even close.
Not even close.
No.
Micah Monroe's on
Sydney
Sweeney's
Sweeney
body.
is a
Yes.
perfect-looking woman. Like
Yeah,
her
she is.
face is
very pretty,
literally
But
immaculate.
I like Micah Monroe's face better.
They're both beautiful.
Do you?
women.
Yeah. They're both gorgeous. but Sydney Sweeney, I see her.
The
in a-
game changer, though, unfortunately, is the giant.
Uh,
She's
Breasticles,
well endowed.
yes.
No, but dude, I see her like she was on. I see like there was clips of her on like Saturday Night Live, and like she at the end when she does, you know how they do like the goodbye with everyone,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
she just
yeah.
has this big smile on her face. This girl's
Dude, the
Yeah.
Hooter,
gorgeous.
the Hooter skit.
yeah,
I didn't actually
Saturday
see
Night
it in
Live?
the skit, but yeah.
yeah. She's certainly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that's
just
funny.
spilling beer all over everybody, and she's like, "This is the best waitress here." And anyone else comes over, they're like, "Get the hell out of here! We don't want you." They're like, "It's so good." She's like, "What?
That's
They
funny.
hate everybody else. I'm the worst."
Yeah,
Well-
no, Sydney Sweeney, she is good at Immaculate. She nails the role. Too,
Sydney
so.
Sweeney certainly.
I
has,
think she's trying to be a new little scream queen.
Yeah, apparently she likes
Why
horror.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
She has a good knowledge of horror.
She does. Yeah, I've seen her in
I've read a
interviews
couple
talking a lot about it.
interviews,
Yeah, interesting stuff. So
She's almost like your like prototypical, like should be a screen.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't know. We'll see. She's young. She's got plenty of acting in front of her.
So two
so-
things.
certainly has a great
Jesus
old
Christ.
personality.
You can't say that.
All right, that's what I got for news, guys. Unless we have anything else, we good?
That's it.
All right. Why don't we take a quick little break here from a word from our sponsors? We'll be right back to talk to you about tonight's movie. Stay tuned.
It's official. The critics' decision is in.
Spooky World is spectacular.
Enter the new black hole.
If you dare.
Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park. Spooky World. Sleepy Clovers.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then right next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. go to bhmansion.com.
All right, we are back, baby. Here to talk about tonight's topic du jour, which, of course, if you've seen the title of the episode, is David Cronenberg's The Fly. Ooh, what's that? Is there a fly in here? Oh my god.
Get it out of my hair. It's in my fucking mouth. Fuck.
Oh, guys, this is a fun one tonight. I'm excited to talk about this.
It's been too long.
I know. And
I
again,
can't believe we've been doing this for 4 years.
yep. Yeah, first Cronenberg movie. First time talking about The Fly.
He's
obviously.
a fucking genius, man.
He really is.
He's in this movie, dude.
He sure
He's
is.
the gynecologist.
Gynecologist. Yep.
Okay.
And that's
apparently
that's
was,
a great
um,
scene.
Yeah,
that was
season 10.
fucked up, and apparently that was he was put into that role from a suggestion by one Gina Davis, because if someone was going to be down there in her area, I'm sure she was clothed. She wanted to feel comfortable with who was down there in that area, so she's asked David Cronenberg to do that. I did read that today.
So she was comfortable with that guy.
Apparently,
Cronenberg,
yes.
creep. No, not that he's a creep, but he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
a little bit.
He kind of looks like if like Ted Danson was like a drug addict.
I figured if Gina Davis was going to pick a guy to be down there, she would have been like, "Are you a horse? Like, you can be down here. You remind me of me."
Excuse me, ma'am, are you a horse? I don't really think Gina Davis is that awful.
She actually doesn't look that bad in this movie,
Yeah.
but she looks so bad in so many other movies. The fact that she's a like sexy role. It's the same thing with Jeff Goldblum being a sexy role. Like,
They're both.
he's not really a sexy dude. His body's in great shape in this movie.
in the 80s, they
Yeah.
definitely were like, they had to have been like,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
compared to like Glenn Close and those people, sure, yeah.
You love hating on Glenn Close. It cracks me up.
She's Cruella DeVille.
But apparently,
She's a monster.
so speaking of David Cronenberg, you said he looked like a creep. I did see that apparently Marty Scorsese, huge fan of David Cronenberg's work. And upon meeting him, Scorsese said that he looked like a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon when he met him.
Oh, that makes sense.
And this is what also partially inspired David Cronenberg to cast himself in that doctor role in that scene.
But then again, in Nightbreed, he plays a doctor too.
Sure
Dr.
does.
Decker.
Yep, sure does. Which that came out after this movie.
Yeah, that was
right?
90.
I think he has
92?
some cameos in a few of his movies. too.
Wait, so Nightbreed came out in 92, which would be
90.
7 years 7 years BM.
Yeah, 7 years prior to the Mummy.
PM.
PM, 7 years PM.
7
gonna
years
take
the
some
Mummy
time.
Senior.
We'll get it. We'll get there. We'll get there.
PM's a type of baked beans.
B- BM's what
Market.
happens after you eat baked beans. There you go. All right. Anyway, real quick, we're getting ahead of
Butt mud?
ourselves.
Butt Massacre.
Bowel movement is what I meant.
Yeah, that's a good. Yep,
That is
you're
what
right.
it actually. That's what BM actually.
poopy.
That's right. You are an adult. Yes.
That's correct.
Wow. I don't talk about I say poopy, my penis.
All right. So, in case for some reason you haven't heard of this movie that we're going to be talking about tonight, The Fly is a 1986 American science fiction horror film directed and co-written by David Cronenberg. Produced by Brooks Films and distributed by 20th Century Fox, the film stars Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, and John Getz. Guys, you know who's a producer on this movie?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. I was today years old when I learned that.
Brooks
Apparently had a huge influence on the production of this movie, which we'll get to a little bit more about that later. This movie is loosely based on George Langland's 1957 short story of the same name and the 1958 film of the same name starring Vincent Price.
The original?
Good evening.
The original is good.
I've never seen the original.
It's good.
He just turns into a guy with a fly
Yeah,
hat.
he just
Yeah.
That's a move right there.
Yes.
I kind of like that.
Based on
very,
those.
Yeah, very creature.
Well, it's the 50s, so
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't really do those types of effects back then, I guess, right? But
actually,
anyway.
you probably could have
If you were really, really good
if you
at
were
makeup.
well ahead of your time, and
I
Maybe
suppose.
if you were Dick
because it's
Smith.
all
Practical.
Yeah.
all practical. But anyway, so based on those two things, The Fly tells of an eccentric scientist named Seth Brundle, who, after one of his experiments goes
That
wrong,
fucking name.
slowly turns into a fly hybrid creature. Budget for this film was estimated to be between $9 and $15 million and cleared $40.4 million at the box office back in 1986. Huge return on investment. Currently streaming right now. Currently streaming nowhere right now.
Yeah, I
this is you had to rent this one, but it's cheap. It's like what, $3-4,
Yeah.
something like that. Did rank number 73 on Shudder's 101 Scariest Horror Movie Moments and number 33 on Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments.
They both were on.
Yep, I'm gonna be including that on classic
73.
movies now. It's a new
Okay.
thing I'm gonna do. I like it. I dig it.
I do too.
Yeah. So that's The Fly. This was a pick for me tonight. Obviously, insect movie equals a Mike like. This was a movie that I first saw not later in life. I first saw this when I was in college. back when Netflix was doing DVD deliveries. And I was trying to go through Cronenberg's catalog. I was really, at the time, I was an English major. I was writing about horror, like in my English classes, and really starting to get into stuff critically. And I kept reading more and more about Cronenberg. So I wanted to kind of see a lot of his films because I knew a lot of them had deeper meaning. A lot of stuff about the social issues of the 80s, which, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you can definitely see the parallels there. But he himself doesn't necessarily think that way, which we'll get to more on that later. So anyway, so Cronenberg kept coming up. I wanted to go through all of his films, and I rented this one. This fucking movie absolutely blew me away. This still, watching it fresh in my mind last night as of this recording, this movie is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal,
absolutely
dude.
heartbreaking.
So fucking
I would
sad.
say this movie's more disgusting to watch than any Saw movie, any movie out there. It's just disgustingly, it's
Body horror,
disgusting.
man.
It's
Body horror is so scary.
Eli Roth and Quentin Tarantino, Eli Roth and Rob Zombie and all of these so-called torture porn directors have wet dreams about making a movie this gross and disgusting. They could never.
only few could
do
be
that.
Cronenberg.
Cabin Fever is pretty gross.
Cabin Fever is pretty. Yeah, that's probably the closest Roth has come. But I mean, dude, just like, I don't know, like. I think this movie is also just profoundly sad because
It's
it just
super sad.
Yeah, it just shows like
It's horrible.
a guy coming to arguably the pinnacle of his life, like his career work coming to fruition. And because of some fucking floozy that he meets at a party, decides to get drunk and ruins his fucking life.
Well, here's the
within
thing.
a matter of
Here's
about
the-
5 minutes.
Here's the
small
thing,
but
though.
critical
I don't even
misstep.
think that I wouldn't even say, like, this just goes to show that you can plan every event in your life. You can have everything mapped out. You've done what you're supposed to do. It's all supposed to work. But the smallest problem
Mhm.
that could arise, like, he could have done that with being completely sober after they went away, did all the tests on the monkey, because the monkey was completely fine. That had nothing to do with it. A fly could have gotten into that teleportation device. Anything could have gotten there.
Yeah, it's
And caused that. It just went to show that you could be so prepared and be so just scientifically sound.
and
Then just realize that
step.
life finds a way.
Life
Life finds a way.
finds a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. A fly.
I'm gonna go
Found
sit
a
with
way.
Dr. Sattler.
Yeah.
So start the Jeff Goldblum impressions. It's okay. But yeah, I love this movie, and it's like there are parts that are really hard to watch.
Yeah.
Even though I've seen this movie a bunch of times
too.
and I know what's coming every single time, but typical Cronenberg fashion, like every single little detail is just so over the top, gory and gross.
I think you like, because at least this is how it is for me, because I've seen this a lot too, and I think I forget just how many times you see him as he progresses or degresses, I should say.
Yeah.
And how bad he really gets, because you're like, those middle periods are the worst part. Like that's because obviously once he really turns, you're like, okay,
The bathroom
you can
scene?
kind of like separate the monster from a human.
Mhm.
But those middle parts where you're like, damn, like there is still a person in there and they're just becoming this thing.
Yeah, when he's ripping his
The
fingernails.
fingernails
off
are
the mouth,
fucking
and it just
gross,
says
dude. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was disgusting. The sound that it makes when his fingernails are coming off, and then he squirts like the pus out of his fingers
Yeah.
onto the mirror. I'm just
Am I
like,
dying? Yeah.
God, yeah,
Is this what
gross,
dying is?
absolutely gross. And then Matt, you brought this up because I think we all three of us watched this last night, right? Before
Yeah,
this recording.
all together.
we talked.
All together
Yeah.
now.
Which was fun talking about it in the group chat. The
Insect politics.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
speech, you were absolutely right. That is fucking insanely creepy. Like I am
Well,
yeah.
So that's probably the peak of when I think that's when he looks the scariest. He's real, like all of his hair is gone, all of his teeth are gone, and his like fingers have become like kind of these like weird
Fused.
like things,
Yeah.
these talons or something. And he the way he talks, he keeps like licking his mouth and like and just like smack. It
Mhm.
reminds me of when Heath Ledger did the Joker.
Yeah.
And he just keeps licking his lips and his mouth, and you're like, it's just something makes it very uncomfortable and unnatural.
Yeah.
But the whole thing he has about insect politics, about how there is no mercy, there's no resentment. Like it's just brutality.
Yeah.
And you're just like, damn, dude. Like it's
He's
just
like,
like he just knows
Get
that
the
he's
fuck
yeah.
out of
yeah,
there.
he
Well,
just
then
knows
Gina
he's
Davis says to him, I don't know what you're trying to say. And he says, I think you should get out of here or I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he
get out.
can't control himself anymore. He is now an insect.
but just
Yeah.
the way he's like
yeah.
like his like breathing and his I'm just like, dude, like this guy is just
Yeah.
like you can't imagine the mindset of like because he's probably has this like insect like kind of instinct to just be hungry and like do whatever he's doing. But at the same time, the human part of him has to just be like, what the fuck is happening to me? Like,
Dude, the insect
it's
side
just
of him,
so scary.
all he
dude.
wants to do is just fucking eat candy bars and sugar. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And break arms and arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And climb on walls
I mean,
and throw up on his
yeah.
food.
There is nothing more
Yeah.
disgusting you could turn into than a fly.
Yeah, flies are honestly gross.
Vile.
Just absolutely disgusting.
the reveal is super cool when he's like looking at the computer and he's figuring out what happened and it shows like the
Yeah.
print
Very, very
thing
slowly.
of the fly. You're
yeah,
like,
it's
damn,
like the
dude.
look on his face. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man. But yeah,
And
what
there's
does he
a
say in
bunch
that?
trying to
fly.
reverse. Yeah, he's like trying to figure out how to reverse it.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't.
Back to the insect politics speech real quick when he says, I'm an insect that once dreamt of being a man and I loved it, or something to that effect. That's just like, yeah, dude, you're gone down the rabbit hole.
Well, yeah,
now.
he
Like,
is
get
now.
out.
The insect is now taken over. The
Mhm.
fly is finally having the thoughts that a
Mhm.
conscious mind can have,
Yeah.
and it's just madness. And
Yeah.
now he's just going to start spewing his. Bleh.
Yeah, when
just
she shows him
eating-
the video.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And then when what's his name, Dr. Getz or whatever his name shows up.
John Getz.
John Getz.
Uh,
Dr. Getz.
Stathis Borans.
Yeah, the names in this movie too.
Mhm.
Stathis
So,
and then Seth.
Let me
Brundle.
lay this on you real quick, okay? In order, okay? Jeff Goldblum plays Seth Brundle. Gina Davis plays Veronica Quaife. Quaife.
Brundle, Quaife.
And John Getz plays Stathis Borans. Hey, Cronenberg, what are you doing, dude? What is that
He's
all about?
Canadian.
I wonder if those are original names to like the movie or the old
Yeah,
movie or
are
something.
they
I don't
from
know.
the original or what is the original movie based off of?
Have you
Is it
ever
based
met a
off of the
person
book, or-
named? Have you ever met a person named Stathis in
I
your
don't think
life?
that's our name.
No, that is not a name.
Quack.
Quaff,
I
Ron
know someone
Quaff.
named Seth, but I don't know
Well, he
the
is.
last name.
Cronenberg
Brundle.
is he is from Canada.
He's Canadian.
Oh, he's
That
Canadian.
could-
Yeah, they're
that could
weird.
be- That
Yeah.
could be like a
Very well
something
could
like
be. I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because honestly, like, it's pretty much those three characters the entire movie with a couple of bit players here and there, like the people in the bar, Cronenberg,
Mhm.
the doctors.
That's it,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much it,
It's
right?
three people. It's a three-show circus.
Yeah, which is I think is a testament to the acting, kind of by all three show circus,
It's a three-man circus.
3-man circus, three. I can see what you did there, guys. I'll ask you this. I know my answer. I'm interested to hear yours. Is this in the conversation for best horror movie remake?
Oh yeah,
Has
of
to,
course, dude.
right?
Like probably
Yeah,
top 3.
if this is a remake, which it is,
Certainly is.
Yeah, then yes.
I think for me,
100%.
you know, obviously I love this movie and I picked it. The Thing is still far and away.
Is The
I think
Mummy up there?
the Thing is a better movie than this.
I mean, it's got to be.
Okay, I love The
That's
Mummy.
a remake, right?
It is. Yeah, it's a remake
Is
of
it?
the
Mummy's
Boris
sweet.
Karloff Universal
Yeah,
Monsters movie.
technically.
Yeah, technically it is. The Thing, obviously, I think is my personal favorite and probably most would argue the
yeah,
best
that's
horror
a
movie
good
remake
answer.
of all time. This has to be in the conversation. I think Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead has to be in the conversation. I think Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead has to be in the conversation. There's probably a few others off the top of my head that I'm forgetting about.
Who did the Hills Have Eyes?
That was Alex Aja. Yeah. Yep.
That's good.
It's a really good one.
that movie's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's a
dude.
brutal movie.
We haven't talked to
Come closer, so we can hear
Who, me?
you.
No, I was saying I don't think we did. We haven't done.
We have not
Hills
done The
Have
Hills
Eyes.
Have Eyes.
That would be a good one.
That's Cat absolutely loves that movie.
I do too.
I do too.
That's a really good movie. Really, really good.
I love the
The
character.
original is
The character
fucking
progression in
hard,
that movie
too.
is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it doesn't have that in the original one, but the original one is still fucking. You got that whole RV
Yeah.
scene, and it's fucking rough.
That the RV scene's brutal. But yeah, I mean, I think this has to be in like top 2, 3 horror movie remakes of all time.
Definitely
I would
top,
think
top 5.
Yeah,
None,
top
no
five.
doubt,
Yeah.
not a doubt.
easily. Yeah.
Flies
Okay,
past all
so
the
yep.
competition.
I agree. Guys,
Zing.
is this the best Cronenberg movie?
No,
That's tough.
For me, it is.
it's definitely it's great. But
So I
personally,
think Scanners is close, and I also really like Videodrome.
I love The Brood.
Yeah,
The
but you're
Brood
a
is
big
so
Brood guy.
fucking good.
Andrew.
Shivers is really fucking good.
That's tough. History of Violence.
I was gonna say I absolutely love History of Violence, even though it's not a horror movie.
Like if we're doing like just strictly horror movies from Cronenberg,
Yeah.
For me,
You love what's the
it's Nightbreed. It's
Well, he
Dead
didn't direct
Zone.
that. Yeah,
you
Dead
can direct
Zone's
that. Dead Zone's really good too.
Oh no, he didn't direct it. It's not Nightbreed. It's
What's the
Dead
series they
Zone.
just
Dead
came out
Ringers.
with?
Dead Ringers.
Dead Ringers.
But I don't know. That's good, but that's not this level good.
Yeah.
I like The Fly is definitely up there, but I think
Tough-
The Brood
tough
is
to
my
beat
favorite.
Scanners.
Scanners is really good. The
And The
Brood's
Fly.
actually really fucking good too.
The Brood.
And I love the Dead Zone.
gross.
I think the Dead Zone is.
Yeah,
I
those
watched
little
that
kids
right
are creepy.
after I watched this last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and the soundtrack is so similar. I'm very curious if Dead Zone. I mean, it's right around the
The
same
Dead
time
Zone
period.
is sad too.
It is
that
sad,
book is really
But I'm wondering
sad.
if this. I wonder if it was the same like composer did Dead Zone.
Wouldn't be
Came
surprised. So
out.
Howard Shore did the music for The Fly. I wonder who did the music for the Dead Zone.
It sounded
Yeah.
almost identical.
Yeah.
It had to be.
Well, that's another thing too. Like
had to be.
this is very much like a drama that turns into a horror movie, and when it goes horror, it goes full hardcore horror, like balls to the wall, pedal to
Yeah.
the floor.
The
like
performances
fucking
are
insane.
incredible.
That's what I was going to say. Leads me perfectly, Matt. Great job. Right into my next question, guys. Best Jeff Goldblum performance?
Probably.
I think by a mile. I mean, he's a great actor, but I feel like this was, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the entire filmography of Jeff Goldblum, so if I'm speaking out of school here, I apologize. I mean, he was in like Invasion of the Body Snatchers
Mhm.
in the 70s, right? He was in a bunch of
Very
other
small.
stuff.
I'm saying, but like he never
But,
had
like,
a huge.
Was
role
this like one of his first leading roles?
Had to.
Had to
Yeah.
have been, right? He fucking crushed.
Especially covered
This.
in all that makeup and shit.
Oh my God.
Independence Day.
Yeah, well,
That was solid.
Independence Day, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
He's great in Jurassic Park, though, too. I mean, I think he's better in this.
But that's such a. I mean, that's a big role, but it's also a small role too.
He has another like really small role in like a very like strange 70s horror movie. I don't think it's Invasion of the Bodies Snatch.
Earth Girls Are Easy. Is that with fucking what's her face too?
Gina Davis.
Yeah.
So Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum used to be married. Did you guys know that?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. By the way, there were a lot of people that were voting for Jeff Goldblum to be nominated for an Oscar for this movie.
I mean, he
Best
was
actor.
fucking phenomenal.
And
too.
I think he absolutely deserved.
I mean,
some
it's tough to say that
consideration.
this isn't his best movie.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard. I mean,
I mean,
This
it's
is-
usually hard.
yeah, it's pretty hard to say, but I don't know. I thought that, especially given the fact I read today that it took nearly 5 hours to apply the most extensive makeup stages that he had on, which is crazy. And Matt, you said acting with that makeup on is a huge deal, and that is a huge, huge deal. He's got, you could tell, like, obviously his voice changes like throughout the movie because he's got those fake teeth in and the teeth
Yeah.
fall out, but he does a good job like conveying. And like, I think one of the reasons this movie works so well is that as he's descending into madness and turning into Brundlefly, right? He's still throwing in little Jeff Goldblum quips and jokes,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
which are fucking great the whole time. It's awesome. Like when he's opening the mirror after his ear falls off and he puts his ear in the
the
medicine
museum,
cabinet,
yeah.
the Museum of Brundlefly, or whatever he's
Yeah,
calling
he
it.
calls it like the Seth Brundle.
He does
Yeah,
maintain.
Natural History
Natural
Museum.
He does
Museum.
maintain a very comedic kind of understanding.
I
of the
love it.
situation.
Almost like a sense of like curious optimism.
Yeah.
Of like he's more fascinated about what's happening to him.
Well,
than-
he's a
Talk about-
scientist, so
yeah.
he should be. This is actually everything. He's like, this is actually probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I'm not going to make
and
it.
it's scientific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the epitome of like whistling past the graveyard. Like, he's
But what are you gonna,
clearly dying.
What are you going
right?
to do in that situation but take it for the best that it is?
Right.
And then you find out that Gina Davis is pregnant. And you're like, yeah,
Mhm.
this is the biggest thing in my life right now is this baby.
All right,
Give
hold on.
birth.
Can we talk about the abortion scene?
That seems so wild.
Mhm.
Dude, that like larva,
Oh, Mike loved it.
dude, that
worm
that
situation.
Did not
effect,
love it.
That's a worm scene if I've ever
that
seen one.
effect, like that
Was so
animatronic
good.
or
Oh,
puppet
yeah.
or whatever it is very good, dude.
Oh,
it
yeah.
like looks heavy as shit.
Mhm.
And like, dude, that thing is just like
Just fucking
fluidly
writhing around.
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
Gross.
dude. Like that thing
very
looked
gross.
super legit. And even from like that time period now, like watching last night, I was like, fuck, that is
Yeah.
a great effect.
I mean, the practical effects in this movie, like the stages as he breaks down into the fly, and like the final state at the end is just fucking
Monster.
insane.
Yeah.
Insane, right? No
wouldn't-
surprise that the one Academy Award nomination this movie got was for and won for best special effects.
Which was
100%.
Rick Baker.
Nope. So the first name mentioned in the credits is Chris Wallace, who is the creator and designer of the Brundlefly makeup.
I always thought this was a Rick Baker movie.
It was not.
Wasn't it like
no.
Dream Image was like the company?
From what I have in front of me here, the first name mentioned in the end credits is Chris Wallace Incorporated as the creator and designer of the Brundlefly makeup. After a screening, the audience cheered upon seeing this first credit. Producer Stuart Kornfeld turned to Wallace and said, "You're getting the Oscar." Kornfeld's prediction came true when Wallace did, in fact, win the Academy Award for Best Makeup. Excuse me.
Dude, how could you watch this movie in the 80s and not think that?
Yep.
You would out of your mind. We're in this day and age, and I look and I watch stuff and I go, "This is not even close." And then you watch this and you go, "What?" It's like as if they like discovered the wheel or fire, 50,000 years before
Did they won
everybody
best
else.
makeup or best special effects?
Best makeup. If that's the award they won. Was
And
best
then
makeup.
everyone just got so reliant on CGI. When in reality, I mean, CGI isn't even cheaper now. It's very expensive now.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the.
That's why people are just using AI for shit.
Can you blame them?
Yeah. Well, let's see here. I did have some stuff about. Maybe I didn't. That's okay. But yeah, so they won the Oscar for Best Makeup, which is fucking insane. Obviously, for this movie, as hardcore as it goes, to be nominated for an Oscar is incredible. But I think that speaks to the testament of the movie and how good it actually is.
The movie, it's more of a drama than a horror movie.
Can you just picture some of the stuffy shirts in the Film Academy watching this movie and having
I
to
think-
actually consider it for a fucking Oscar?
Well, here's the thing.
which I love.
It's a remake,
That image.
It's a remake of a 50s
Makes
movie,
me
so
giggle.
it gives them some sort of like I feel like this would be a well-received movie in that time period. Like, I don't think anyone went into that going like, I don't want to watch this. They probably were very curious as to what they were about to see.
So I actually didn't. I have that information here. I can look it up. Let me see, because I wonder how it was. It made a lot of money. So
Critically received must have been phenomenal.
let's see. According to Metacritic, The Fly received "quote unquote" universal acclaim based on a weighted average of 81 out of 100 from 12 critic reviews. Rotten Tomatoes 93%. Let's see here. Do they have anything from Ebert or Siskel or Ebert? Oh, film critic Gene Siskel named The Fly as the 10th best film of 1986.
Wow.
Dude, Siskel and Ebert were the big deal in the 80s and 90s.
And they
so for them
hated
to say
horror
they
movies.
hated horror,
Yeah.
hated it.
Well, this isn't a horror movie. When you really think about it, it's a drama. It's
Yeah.
a love story.
But
How
it's
can you
with
watch
horror.
the last?
No, it's a
50
horror
minutes
movie,
of this movie?
but it's so much more than that.
Well, no, it's just very well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like
Very
every
well-made
it's every
horror
fucking
movie.
Cronenberg. It's very
Yep.
well done.
Yeah, Time Magazine named it one of its best 25 horror films of all time. Number 33 on Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments, which you said. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. 2021, the Daily Star ranked The Fly as the top of its greatest short story adaptations. Yep,
So it was a short story. Okay.
It was, yep. And then it was
Interesting.
turned into the Vincent Price. Vincent
What did
Price.
Vincent Price think about this movie?
So I did actually see something about that
That's
as well.
Was he like, this is a magical movie?
Actually, hold on, I have that right here. In a 1987 interview on Sinister Image, Vincent Price revealed that when the remake was released, star Jeff Goldblum wrote him a letter saying, quote, "I hope you like it as much as I liked yours." Price was touched by the letter. He composed a reply and went to see the film, which he described as, quote, "a wonderful delight right up to a certain point where it went a little too far."
Oh, so he was too much for him.
Yeah, apparently. You imagine sitting in a theater next to Vincent Price watching this movie. It'd be
It's like, this is
fucking
delightful. And he's like, oh my goodness,
No.
Brundlefly started spitting on the person's leg.
simply too much. Good evening, that's it for me. Goodbye. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is
Oh, that's
close
good.
at hand. I must be getting home at this point.
I started spitting on his legs. It's too much.
Popcorn
went to the I like the bit in, I think it's in the Bravo thing.
Yeah.
When they talk about how Mel Brooks was a producer for this.
Which is weird.
It is.
So weird.
Let's talk about that after you're done. I got some stuff here. Go ahead.
And so Mel Brooks was producer, and so I guess they were giving out like these little like head bopper fly antenna things when people went to see this in theaters. and people were like, "Oh, this is gonna be like
a fun comedy.
Mel Brooks, like this is gonna be so
Oh.
funny, like whatever, blah blah blah." And then you see the movie, and they're like,
What the fuck?
"Oh my god!" It's like kind of the same effect that had with like John Landis doing an American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, he just did fucking Animal House. Like this is supposed to be really funny," and they're like, "Whoa, dude!"
Yeah, but then
like,
people
Jesus
realize
Christ.
that comedy and horror go hand in hand.
So Cronenberg said that Mel Brooks came up with the line that Veronica says, quote, "Be afraid, be very afraid," and while discussing how the character should react to the early stages of the Brundle transformation. So that was directly influenced by Mel Brooks. You guys want to know who Mel Brooks originally wanted to play the role of Seth Brundle before it was ultimately cast as
Carrie Ewells.
Jeff Goldblum?
I'm
It
gonna
was not Carrie Ewells.
I'm gonna guess Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, not considered, but kind of close. Mel Brooks wanted Pierce Brosnan to play Seth Brundle, but
that would've been
Cronenberg
good.
said, no, not today.
He's
he gave
too
him
good
the old,
looking. Yeah, he's way
gave him
too
the
good
old
looking.
Dikembe Mutombo slap. Get out of here with that Pierce Brosnan shit. Cronenberg's top choice, John Malkovich, who said,
That would have been wild.
no.
John
Slap.
Malkovich said no.
John Malkovich said
What
no.
an idiot.
Andrew, John Lithgow also offered the
Ooh.
role, who said, no, too grotesque. Get
I
that
don't know
shit
if I
out of
can picture
here.
John Lithgow in that
John
role.
Malkovich would have been fucking
Malkovich
crazy.
would have been wild. Lithgow would have
Have
been
you
wild
ever
too.
heard of insect politics?
Yeah,
They're
I
very
feel like
brutal and they're very angry.
Guys, there's more. But wait, there's more. Also considered for the role.
don't splash the fucking pot.
Guys,
So he says. These rounders.
the one actor, well, there's two here. Richard Dreyfuss, also considered for the role.
Richard Dreyfuss would have been great. Love Richard Dreyfuss. Underrated.
I'm trying to put a face to the
Mm.
name.
He's
What about Bob?
Hooper and Jaws.
Yes, duh. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
So
What about Bob? That
I
was-
think the only other actor manic enough to pull off what Jeff Goldblum did that was considered but ultimately said no,
Billy Crystal.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton would have been very
Robert
scary.
De Niro,
Mhm.
maybe Al Pacino. Whoa.
Whoa, it's a fly. I'll turn it into it. Oh,
Whoa. Oh, my
Michael Keaton might have been too scary.
Michael Keaton would
Pretty
have been
woman, what?
very terrifying. Like that would have been like, so like that would have been pre-Batman, pre-Beetlejuice Michael
Yeah.
Keaton, right?
Michael
Just-
Keaton.
just
Yeah.
First off,
barely.
Michael Keaton can play any role that's
Yeah.
ever been given to him.
Yep.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Mhm. But ultimately, obviously, Jeff Goldblum was chosen by Cronenberg as Goldblum was willing and able to perform with prosthetic makeup, unlike other proposed actors like Richard Dreyfuss, who said that was beneath him.
Real quick though, definitely that was not Jeff Goldblum doing the.
Oh, the acrobatics?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Who was
No.
Who was
no,
that?
somebody.
Which
There's a stunt.
They cut away. I was
gymnast
watching that. They cut away at all the right points when you can potentially kind of.
Well,
see
they
his
did a
face,
very
and
good
that
job
is-
at it.
Yeah, they did. It looks just like him. But I mean, dude, that guy can move around.
That guy can haul.
Oh yeah, he's flipping around and like running on the ceiling and then flipping and running on the ceiling.
Yeah,
Like,
that was some
insane.
sort of gymnast.
Yeah, that's like you're a superhero, dude. What are you doing,
It was
man?
Bruce Jenner.
Excuse
He
me.
was a diver. Right?
Can't
Holy diver.
yes. Can't do that. Guys, what do you think was the grossest part of this movie?
Oh, now you're talking.
It's definitely the.
There's a lot of contenders,
It's
to be honest.
when he's eating his food, when she's videotaping it. I feel like that's the most.
But you don't
disgusting
see
part.
that. You only hear it.
When he
Oh yeah.
And he goes,
There's the one
"Sorry,
that's, like
that
gardening
was
glove.
disgusting."
I love that he rips all his fingernails off and he puts on like gardening gloves.
But
He's
wouldn't
just,
you though? Like if
single
you didn't
finger
have
typing on his
fingernails,
computer.
dude, I would. If I didn't have fingernails, I'd freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
I'd put
no, that's
band-aids on them
The
first.
fingernail scene is pretty
gross.
fucking yucky.
That's gross. That is the most unsettling thing to me. But Andrew, you did do exactly what I was looking for there, because I was looking for you to set me up with the fact that the vomit that comes out of his mouth is a combination of milk, yogurt, and raw eggs. That's what they use for that effect.
Gross.
That's disgusting.
Yep.
Gross.
Raw
So he
eggs would
actually,
make you throw up
wouldn't he, why
automatically
wasn't he
anyway.
just throwing up in like real time?
He probably kind of was.
Putting that in his mouth,
Probably.
like I have to.
Right.
Excuse me while I vomit. Excuse me while I throw up here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gross. You know what? Always, it's not like the most disgusting thing, but for some reason, it's always like just giving me the ick. Is the arm wrestling scene? Not when he breaks a dude's arm, but when he's like he tightens his grip,
And
and,
he's
you
got that
see that
stuff.
weird.
Yeah,
like,
it's like he's
jizz
trying to like
on his
he's-
hand.
It's like he's trying to like
fly-
infiltrate
the
his
fly
skin
goo.
with his
Yeah.
like goop.
that part always grosses me out. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's
You
nasty.
know what scene kind of grosses me out too is when there's a fucking trollop that he brings back, it's like spreads her legs and he's like ready to pounce on her. I'm like, ugh, good God.
Yeah,
Because she's gross. Like
yeah,
like-
she's beat.
we can say what we want to say about
Speaking
fucking
of fucking floozies, Jesus Christ! Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she was a Sloot McDoo, a who for sure.
Cronenberg found her in like some fucking Winnipeg fucking bar. I was like, who's this dirty
Okay, you
Canadian
wanna make-
Also,
salute?
I'm sorry. I know
bucks.
that I brought this up in the group chat last night, but it is a fucking wild move that in the beginning of this movie, Brundle brings Veronica back to his apartment to demonstrate the teleportation, and he says, just
Oh yeah,
innocently, give me any object that's personal.
She gives
And
her
she
pantyhose.
pulls off her pantyhose like a fucking skank. Like, what are you doing?
This movie
You
dated
don't have a,
itself
like,
immediately.
what about
There's-
your purse
Yeah.
or like a, you don't have, she doesn't
I
wear,
wouldn't have given
doesn't
him
wear
my
jewelry
purse.
apparently.
No,
like,
because she's like,
gonna
you want my fucking
eviscerate my purse.
Yeah, you want this?
True. But does it have to be your pantyhose? Or she's clearly, it takes
She
a
was
liking
into
to him
him,
right
yeah.
away. So
No, I
Yeah,
think
she was like, I'm
that's what I
giving
got
you.
from it was that she was kind of like
She thought he was
being
just She thought he was
flirtatious.
being a little trickster, little Harry Houdini guy.
Mhm.
I'm
He
just
is.
like, I'll show you.
she's
my
like, congratulations, you made a giant microwave,
Yeah.
dipshit.
Fucking loser. I know I don't know anything about shit, but I'm gonna trash you in your life's work. And then I'm gonna look like a horse. Disgusting.
Would you
Love
guys?
her though. She's
what-
awesome. She's
what-
great in A League of Their Own. I love her.
Oh yeah, she's great.
She's a fantastic actress. Actor.
Beetlejuice.
Actor.
Beetlejuice. Yep.
Beetlejuice.
Apparently, she's not returning for Beetlejuice, the sequel.
No,
No, apparently
well,
not.
fuck.
Neither's Alec Baldwin.
well,
So,
yeah, I mean, Alec Baldwin's probably gonna be in jail.
yeah. Probably a decision that
As he
they
should
could
be.
not bring Alec Baldwin back, so they probably weren't going to bring Gina Davis back. Leave the couple out of that.
Well, Alec Baldwin's also kind of
yeah,
like
yeah. And
done a lot
he's
of
kind of
I mean,
ridiculous
they could have
shit.
done us. They
Kinda
could have done us a
fucked.
favor.
Yeah.
He could have just shot Gina Davis by
That's
accident.
true.
Been an option.
Guys, what did you think of the ending of this movie?
The ending?
Oh yeah, I mean, crazy effects, right?
Yeah.
Also, what do you think of the fact that it ends right after Brundle gets blown away?
It's fine.
That ends. That is
It's like American
so,
Werewolf.
So to me,
very much
that is
so.
that is one
Yep.
of the saddest endings to a movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is when you finally feel so bad for Brundlefly or just Jeff Goldblum's character and Gina Davis's character. in general.
All of
Mhm.
them.
But
Yeah.
just everyone, you're just like, this is awful. Yeah, because Getz fucking just
Mhm.
went through what he went through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like this poor bastard. And then he just looks so painful. And when he just pulls and he's like, just fucking end it.
Mhm.
And you go, she's not going to do it. And then she's like, no. And then she backs
It's
like
like,
2
okay,
feet away.
yeah.
And then she's like,
Yeah.
you know what? Now that I'm not right next to you, fuck.
I'm gonna
Pow!
blow this half man, half machine, half fly
Monster,
thing
yeah.
into oblivion. Yeah.
Oh, I
And
would
also-
have immediately shot him in the head because that is the scariest thing I've ever seen. I would have been like, oh my God.
That
Bye.
also reminds me of the what is it, like the sad and lonely death of Jordy Verrill from Creepshow?
Yes.
When he turns into like the big plant monster.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he just like
Shoots himself in the head.
Yeah.
I
Fuck.
watched that recently because I just
Yeah.
watched that. I hate that fucking one.
Really? I
It's
like
my-
that.
so
That's
it's
one of
my
my
least- it's my
it
least
makes
favorite.
me hate
Yeah.
Stephen. It makes me really not like Stephen King.
Oh, because he's just such a goofy idiot.
Yeah, it's almost like he's like trying, like he thinks he's so much smarter than everybody else, and it's like such a pretentious, like fucking, oh, you're a farmer, you're a fucking retard, like this. Well, you can't say that, but he's like,
Yeah.
you're an idiot, and you're doing this, and it's just like he's so Stephen King to me, like he's a fantastic writer, and he does, but he is a pretentious fucking asshole.
Yeah,
and that's
maybe.
my that's
that was
what
the
that's
peak. That was like the peak of his like drinking and
grinds
Well,
my
coke
gears.
binging too.
Oh, he looks
More on
insane.
that
Really
shortly.
good.
While we're on the ending of this movie, there were also apparently a couple of alternate endings shot that might have given a quote unquote happier ending to the movie.
Someone gets pounded off.
Let's see. Pounded off. Yep.
Brundlefly just Brundleflies fucking.
Let's see.
Gina
So there was
Davis
one film in
face.
which two. There are multiple endings filmed in addition to the one that was actually aired. Two were filmed in which Veronica has another dream of her unborn child. This time as a baby, with beautiful butterfly wings. She wakes up and is revealed to still be pregnant while in one of the dreams, while in another one her pregnancy is left open to interpretation at the end. So that's not really that happy. But the butterfly wings one, I guess, maybe.
Kinda
weird.
dumb.
There was also an ending that was
Good thing they didn't do
shot
that.
where featured her having an unseen nightmare and being comforted by Stathis, who states
hands.
in one version states the baby is his, and the other that it's dead.
So that to me, like, because honestly, like, let's be real, Stathis is the villain here. He's
Mhm.
the biggest piece of shit in the whole movie. Like, so that ruins.
he's the
movie.
worst.
He's
But
a
apparently,
garbage human being.
Jeff Goldblum actually objected to any ending involving John Getz's character Stathis because he said, "I think once the hero because he considered himself to be the hero of this movie. Once the hero is dead, the movie is over.
Yeah,
That's
he is
what
the
he
hero.
said,
Stathis
so,
is terrible. He's what drove her to Brundlefly.
Yeah.
He was that bad that she was like, you know,
Yeah, he is like
I'd rather consider having a fly baby with this monster.
But he is like
Be
the
with
catalyst of the whole situation.
He
Sure
is
is.
the
Sure,
Much like
fucking is.
good old Judd Crandall.
Oh, Judd Crandall, one of my favorite characters.
That's talk about a catalyst.
Uh-huh. Last thing, real quick, before we dive into 1986, the year in horror, several sequences were filmed that were cut from the final release, including a sequence where Brundle sends a cat and the surviving baboon through the telepods. You can find this one on YouTube. You guys ever seen this before?
No.
Gross. Safe to see why they cut this.
Kababoon?
Basically results in a mutated creature that he's like well into his fly state, and he's just trying to figure out ways
really?
to fucking like
so he's just doing
fix
weird
himself.
shit.
So he's doing
with other
weird
things?
shit. So this weird cat baboon creature comes out of the telepod, and he just beats it to fucking death with a lead pipe, like in full view.
So
man.
having now known all
Mhm.
we know about movies from the 80s and how they treat animals, do you think
No,
that
because
definitely didn't?
They
right?
didn't. They not that. That was
They didn't use a real
late
teleportation.
70s, early 80s with
Milo and Otis?
Italian movies.
No, Milo and Otis.
with Milo and Otis.
We talked about that recently.
I know we talked about that when we were talking
On
about
the podcast,
Yeah, we did.
yeah.
We did. But
The cat and the
he's
dog.
younger than us.
Oh.
So, yeah, the cat and dog.
the
movie,
dog
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
That was like mid 80s.
Yeah, I
So
don't know
did
what
you
that
think
is.
they
That also
actually
was
had a
not filmed. Also was
teleportation?
not filmed in America though.
Yeah, but where was this movie filmed? Canada?
They wouldn't have fused a monkey and a cat
No,
together.
no,
and
it was
beat-
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying poor Brundlefly probably ate a fly. Maybe he actually killed that fly in that scene. We don't know.
Probably.
I have no sympathy.
Well, that's
I have no sympathy for the flies.
I know.
Sorry. You know, you're
I keyed.
gonna have to keep searching for fly sympathy. So yeah, there's apparently this movie could have been even more gross than it actually
That
was.
was
Yeah,
wild.
that's a heavy scene.
I mean, they could have. That actually could have benefited from one of those scenes.
Apparently, I've never been able to find this one online, but there was a scene where he kidnaps a homeless lady and tries to fucking throw her through with something.
That I could
and,
get down on.
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
that'd be tough
Yeah.
too.
Very
It's a
tough.
wild scene.
All right, so
Him trying to put the
Like if
the-
him out in public, like dressed up like a homeless person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
him trying to get the
That's
bar girl
an interesting
into it
angle.
is still pretty
Oh, yeah.
intense, dude. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Because he could have been like a street lurker.
Either way, it's just like he's trying to like potentially mutilate this woman.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
microwave this lady.
Yep.
Yeah, and like even when he meets, he just shows up at a bar and she's like, "Yeah, you're hot." I'm like, "Oh my god, what?
Yeah, he
Looks
looks
like a monster
Yeah, he
at
looks like
this point.
shit.
You just rip that guy's arm off, and she's like, "I want to fuck
He
you."
walks
I'm
on
like,
the-
so that's
walks on
so
the bar
basically you just rip this
like
guy's arm,
Borat.
but you like that guy, and you're like, you know what? Nah,
you might as well have essentially said,
I'm not a
very,
whore, but.
very nice. How much? And she's like, wait, what? A whore? He's like, he is very much so.
And then she's like, "Well, you broke his arm."
Yeah. So
Why
let's
don't I
go
leave
have
with you?
sex. Yeah.
She's like, "What about breakfast?" He's like, "Your breakfast."
Guys on the Fly came out in 1986. Want to hear about some other 1986 horror highlights real quick before we sign off this evening?
Sure does.
Yeah.
Guys, arguably one of the other biggest horror movies of the year that was often paired as a double feature with The Fly, because it came out a month later than The Fly did. James Cameron's Aliens. Banger. Great movie. Not as good as the Ridley Scott original, in my opinion.
Still pretty good though.
Still pretty good. Still very good. I would say arguably in the conversation for one of the best sequels of all time.
Kind of long.
Yep.
Still pretty good.
Chopping Mall came out in 1986.
Not my favorite.
No, I like that one a little
Do
bit.
you?
Yeah.
It's not like what you'd think it would be.
No, it's robots.
Yeah.
Robots. Killer robots.
Ribbits.
I want an old mon pod
Coupons.
shopping people.
Critters came out in 1986. Little Gremlins ripoff.
Yeah.
We also got a Wes Craven movie called Deadly Friend. Ever seen it?
I haven't.
No.
I've seen a lot of clips of it. I just
Neither
never
have I.
actually watched it.
Never
What
seen
year
it.
were you born?
86.
Ah, fuck.
Yep.
Because I had an idea which would be fun for a draft
Mhm.
where we all draft movies from our.
Birth
Birth
year?
year.
No, we were born the same year.
No, I'm 85.
Oh, that's
So,
right, you old fuck.
So you
Still
get some
do it.
shitty picks.
You can do that. Oh, yeah, I kind of do have some shitty picks.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got like.
Dude, I had 94. I have next to nothing.
That's
Oh.
true. Matthew, we got from Lamberto Bava, Demons 2 in 1986.
Yep. There's no
Lamberto
Evil Dead
Bava.
Rise without Demons too.
That's correct. We also got Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives in 1986.
Meh.
We also
Not
got,
the worst one.
here's another great film from Stuart Gordon, 1986 is From Beyond.
Banger.
H.P.
All right, you
Lovecraft
got a couple that
adaptation.
you could do
A
that.
couple, yeah. We got a Ken Russell movie starring Gabriel Byrne, Julian Sands, and Natasha Richardson called Gothic. Anyone seen that?
No.
Nope, I haven't either. Piqued
I've
my
seen
interest, though.
Gothic.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Ooh, I love that
That's
movie.
a banger.
1986. Sure
Can't say
is.
that. Don't want to get put on a list.
Yep.
You're gonna be looking for me later. Did you murder this
You
person?
say that you love this movie?
Also in 1986, Rutger Hauer starred in The Hitcher.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one. Pretty good. Toby Hooper film called Invaders from Mars.
Ooh, the remake of the 50s one.
Yep. Came out in 86.
Believe it or not, the 50s one's better.
We also got
Is
Little Shop of Horrors starring John Candy and Rick Moranis,
That's a very good
1986. Pretty good one. All right. We talked about Stephen King before. We got the directorial debut and directorial finale of Stephen King in 1986
Oh, boy.
in the form of the height of his cocaine phase.
Maximum Coke.
Maximum Overdrive, starring Emilio Estevez, which, not a great film.
The whole premise for that movie's fucking ridiculous.
It's
Out of
based on a
control.
short story.
Called
Night
Trucks.
Shift. Yeah.
It's just a weird.
It's very
trucks.
strange.
Like, what is with him and cars coming?
He loves killer cars, man. Just loves it.
Like, that's just some
Drugs,
weird
I know.
things,
Fucking
drugs,
cocaine's
Fucking
a
weird
hell of a
dude.
drug,
Cocaine's
Fucking
a
weird
hell of a
dude.
drug.
We got Night of the Creeps in 1986.
I like that one. Great little Tom Atkins banger.
Oh, Tom Atkins. Yep. Again, Tom Atkins is in fucking everything in the 80s. We also got Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, which is the last Poltergeist movie
Dude,
before
underrated movie, man.
what's her name died? The little girl.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget her name.
Benny.
We got Psycho 3 in 1986.
Man.
Andrew got a Clive Barker movie in 1986 called Rawhead Rex.
I actually don't hate that movie. It's a
Yeah.
nice little, like
Little Irish horror
little
movie.
Irish,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, I dig that one too.
It's interesting.
Terror Vision, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2,
I
and
love
Troll
Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
came out in
I feel like I've seen
1986.
Terrorvision.
TerrorVision.
It's an anthology, I
is-
believe.
Yeah.
Is it any of those? That weird fuck movie. What am I thinking? of?
That weird fuck movie. Yeah, Chainsaw Massacre 2, obviously, I think is the best of the Chainsaw Massacre sequels. Right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Was it
Yeah.
number 7?
Oh,
Oh no, you guys. It was Jason. Was the other one?
Jason 6.
Down to
Yeah, it was
6,
Friday
yeah.
the 13th 6.
It's only Friday
That's
the
definitely not the
13th
best, but
movie.
it's not the worst.
Yeah. I mean, highest grossing horror movie, some would say not horror action, is Aliens. Number 5 at the box office that year with 85 million, but top grossing movie of 1986, Top Gun. Top Gun, followed
Top
by
Gun.
Crocodile Dundee at 2, The Karate Kid Part 2 at 3, Back to School at 4, Aliens, The Color Purple, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, Ruthless People, Out of Africa, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Back to School,
rounding
phenomenal
out
movie.
the top 10.
I
Ferris
always
Bueller's Day
had
Off's good, too.
I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I always
Yeah,
had a
that's
big crush on Sloane.
Oh yeah, Sloane's hot in that
She's
movie
gorgeous.
for sure. She's very, very attractive. Guys, anything else on the fly on the year 1986 on insects, on vomiting on food, on the peeling of fingernails, on the politics of politics of insects, or anything science or fly
I
related?
think we should start a religion based off the politics of insects.
I'm sure there already is one.
Probably is.
Probably is.
Now, Andrew, this is only like the second time.
Second time, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you probably still get. I mean, I still get pretty fucking creeped out by it.
It's just a very. It is.
It's
yeah.
yucky.
It's a yuck movie. It's
Yeah.
yuck. There's parts where you go
Very much a
I
yuck
don't really-
movie.
and it doesn't really fucking let up. It just starts and it goes fucking banger.
It just keeps
To
going.
the walls,
It
yeah.
just gets
Which
worse.
is what I like about it. Like I said, there's no downtime. There's no,
It doesn't take long to like really get there either.
Yeah.
and it doesn't need to. Which
Yeah.
is perfect. This is what these type of movies need to be. Like, just get into the actual part of the movie that we want to see.
I mean, the first
I want to see
actually-
the guy turning into a fly. That's what I want.
the first
That's why I'm
actual
watching The Fly.
the first actual unsettling thing that happens in the movie is when he teleports the first baboon. It comes in inside out.
Oh, yeah, gross.
which is what 15, 20 minutes in the
Fantastic,
movie,
yeah.
right? So and then it just kind of fucking goes from there. So, yeah, I mean, I picked this movie. I love this movie. I hope we talk about more Cronenberg, but again, this is my favorite movie from his. I like a lot of his movies, but it's got a lot of great practical effects, great performances, and depending on if you want to like read about some of the deeper meaning of this movie, a lot of people read it as like an interpretation for the AIDS epidemic in the 80s, which
Yeah.
Cronenberg himself said he thought it was interesting that people made that metaphor because he just thought of it more as an allegory for disease and the decay of the body itself, as he usually does with lots
He's
of his
obsessed
movies.
with that.
Yeah, he loves that stuff. So this is about as gross and graphic as it gets in terms of body horror, I would say. It's got to be up there. So this is a
Yeah.
classic. You need to see it if you're a horror fan.
I agree. I'd say this is like the godfather of body horror.
Yeah, got to be in the top, Cronenberg. I feel like Cronenberg is the godfather.
Well, yeah, if you put
body
a
horror, right?
Rushmore
So it's going to be like
body horror, it's
Yeah.
Cronenberg,
Yeah.
Cronenberg.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah, for sure. And well, maybe The Thing would be up there too. That's some serious body horror too.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, anything else?
I love this movie.
Andrew,
Banger.
before we sign off here,
Do you have a pick for next
believe
week,
it is
brother?
yours pick next week, my friend. You don't have if you don't have anything right
we're
now.
gonna do Baskin.
I'm sorry. What?
Don't worry about it.
Que paso?
Baskin. Baskin.
We're
I was gonna
taking a
say-
trip over to Turkey.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, do we want to do some sort of a draft for halfway to Halloween? Since that would be when the episode would be coming out. We could do something like that. Obviously, it's your pick, so you can decide.
Well, I don't know what to do.
Maybe-
for a draft.
Okay.
No, that's too much
Oh,
pressure.
well, no, you don't have to decide right this second. We can talk about it, but it sounds
Well,
like
you asked me.
sounds like you have a movie in mind.
I did. I wanted to do
potentially.
this movie last year, and we didn't do it. I
Alright.
think now's the time.
Okay, fair enough.
It's time to bask in the glory. of
Bask in the
Baskin.
This movie's fucking nuts.
All right. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for another episode of America's Hometown Horror. Thanks so much for checking back in with us. We certainly appreciate it. My name's Mike. I've been joined by Andrew and Matt, and we appreciate you hanging with us during this conversation about insect politics and apartments.com. Good evening. And John, for Christ's sake, when the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists. Goodbye.
Good evening.
Now there might be dinosaurs on your
dinosaurs.
on your dinosaur tour, right? Yes. Hello. Yes. All right. Goodbye.
Later.
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and I want to say thanks again for listening to another episode of our show. If you're interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I'd highly recommend you check out the shows from our friends over on the Inebriart Podcast Network. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find shows from Inebriart, The Old Colony Cast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, and Retro Redoctopus, so head on over and give them a listen.